Another important point highlighted by Ross is the fact that Aristotle wonders about the possibility of time existing in the absence of the soul. In our modern version, we might say conscious observation. Aristotle questions whether time could exist without someone who can count it. For the philosopher in this hypothesis, time itself would not exist. There would only be movement without a measurable aspect. Today we know that time does not exist without observers. There is no time itself. Without the observers through the continuity of space, all movements can be admitted to be and are a perfect situation of rest, a perfect nothingness. Without observers, the universe itself does not exist. Our individual memories are unimportant. When a life comes to an end, the memories that were contained in that copy are erased. No memory is ever definitively lost, as it will always be revived, recreated, repeated in other perfect copies of the same living being. Even during life, even while a being is alive, memories are lost all the time by the simple fact of forgetting. The important thing is to know that the universe is eternal, and therefore every living being is eternal through perfect copies. The project of every living being, the DNA of every living being, is a memory that is never permanently erased in the universe. No memory can be permanently lost in an eternal universe in which all physical events are perfectly repeated in the form of infinite copies. The fact that the universe is eternal, the fact that the universe as a whole does not recognize the physical concept of time, which is only always locally valid, and the fact that physics works every day in exactly the same way, the fact that the laws of physics can never be altered, guarantees an eternal existence to all living beings, which are repeated for eternity in exact copies. Physically, all atoms work in exactly the same way. A hydrogen atom is exactly like every other hydrogen atom in the universe. The operating rules of mechanics are strictly the same everywhere in the universe. All other atoms larger than hydrogen are formed through the nuclear fusion of hydrogen at very high temperatures in the centers of stars. All of us were forged in the hearts of the stars. Just like the atoms they are made of, also all living beings are perfect copies of themselves. There cannot be new, unique, individual living beings in an eternal universe. No life is lost permanently in a universe that is eternal. We all have many infinite copies, just like any of us scattered throughout the universe. Nobody is a single being. Each and every one of us is always a crowd. However, most of these copies of ours, as well as the other perfect copies of planet Earth, are so far away from us, so far in space, that it is practically impossible to contact them, much less visit them. The life of a single living being is something very small and very fragile, but while the duration of its project or existence is very large, indestructible, and unending in the sense of never having an end. Due to their dynamic nature, as they are structures based on movement, all living beings are always evolving. Evolution is the survival of the most adapted, of the most suited to the environment that surrounds it, as Darwin said. Although all living beings are always in the process of evolution, the universe, physics are not in evolution. Einstein's postulate, which says that absolute motion can never be detected, which leads to the exact and constant proportionalities of the theory of relativity, is something definitive, fixed. It is a principle that is always valid, established everywhere in the universe. It always works in the same way. It is not something that is evolving or that can be changed. The same happens with the always only local validity of the concept of time and of any other type of motion that never exists for the universe as a whole, leaving the universe with an eternal existence. This principle, this way of functioning of physics, is not something that can be changed or that is in evolution. On the contrary, it is a definitive rule, valid and unalterable always and everywhere in the universe. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and give your like if you enjoy it.